all. We stepping into the future and leading the charge. We only dreaming large, going colossal, impossible's nothing at all. Breaking the boundaries, making them fall, pushing the pathway through the wall, making the world evolve. Better get ready, cause we about to raise the bar. Let's go. This is the moment. And we are the movement. We are the dreamers.
All right now. Okay. Candid Conversations. It is your boy, no other than the birthday fella. Deacon is in the building. I know y'all missed me last week. But we're here. Normally we'll be like, hey y'all, this is Kyra. But she's not here. She's doing her own thing. So the fellas are left unattended. So I just want to let y'all know before we get the show started, Roshawn has already moved to an undisclosed area. So please don't go to somebody else's house and tear up their grass because that's no longer his grass. All right? So we wanted to get that out of play right now so you understand that if you go back to that house, you're tearing up somebody else's grass. He has moved already. All right? We will not be held responsible for charges brought against you for going and mess up somebody else's grass. All right? But let's get one out here. Let's get this show started. The one you love to hate, but hate to love. The one that my brother's Roshawn. Come on out here, brother. Mr. Black History himself.
The Black History himself.
Mr. Black History.
You sold my house and everything, huh? Kyra's doing her own thing. I like it.
Out here doing her own thing. Left the brother in charge. Gave us the key to the house.
I like it. Left us unattended. How's everybody doing? It's good to be back. We took a week off. Now we back. I want to say happy birthday to my brother, Derek. You've been real busy, man. You got married, birthday. How you feeling, man? How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good, just coming back from a little getaway.
On a cruise.
It was an experience, I came up with some material for it. So when I hit the stage, I'm gonna have to bring y'all up to speed.
Now, was this your first cruise or?
Nope, this is my first 8-day cruise.
8 days.
I think it's too long to be on a boat with anybody.
Yes, I don't like to be on cruises that long.
Right, I enjoy being on it with my wife, but I looked at her face. I was like, "Listen, I'm tired of these people."
To me, after like the 3rd, 4th day, I done seen everything.
Yeah,
I done did everything. My body's full of beer. It's like I'm ready to go home. You know what I mean? So 5 days is enough for me. 8 days is kind of overkill for me. So I don't think I'll do a cruise that long. I've been on, several cruises, but it's always been anywhere between 3 to 5 days.
Right. We did a 3-day cruise, which was perfect. I thought it was perfect. We hit the spots we needed to hit. We was home, and the only difference is all of those you got to travel down, so you got to travel south for it. But it was worth it.
Yeah, I always do that. I always hit Orlando. We do Disney, then we do the cruise, and then we come back, chill out for a day, and then we come back home.
Right.
I've yet to do a cruise from here. All the cruises I've taken was down in Florida. So, but it was always a good time. Cruises was always a good time. Chill out, relax. It's always a party.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a party until it stopped being a party.
8 days is a long time on the cruise.
Yep, and everybody is pushed to their maximum.
Yeah. I remember the last one I took, it was 5 days. We spent a couple days before the cruise. did the cruise, got back to Orlando, chilled for a day or two. I mean, I was rushing to the airport. I was ready to get home.
I understand.
I was. But
I miss my
glad
bed.
you-
It's like your own bed. That's the big thing.
yeah.
Is whack. The whack part is having to, like today I had to go in the kitchen and cook. That was whack. You know, because I was used to somebody else cooking. I just came up like, is it lunchtime? Let me go on upstairs to lunch. Is it dinner? Let me go on downstairs to dinner. And you get home and you be like, shoot, I gotta, ain't nobody in my kitchen. So I gotta go ahead and do it myself. So that was the
Yeah.
that was the big piece for me. But
Especially get a ship that got good food, you know.
and I must say my ship had a good food. The food was good. There was
Yeah,
a lot
good.
of, but the food was top tier. You know, we tried some new stuff so we can say that we at least tried it, you know. Won't be signed for it again, but you know, you try it. So
good. Glad you enjoyed yourself. Happy that was it was good. So happy birthday to you. You and the wife. You know, good to get away. Glad you enjoyed yourself. Welcome back.
good to be back. Good to be back, and good to be at this. I think this is a good. Uh, this is a good topic that is going to. I think it is a good conversation piece. Especially with what's been going on going across in the reels and things like that. This conversation has been popping up in different places. So, what better place to talk to with my brother Roshawn? And let's get into the real of it. Today's topic. Do I owe you my loyalty because of your kindness? Do I owe you my loyalty? Do I have to be loyal to you forever and ever just because you was kind to me for a certain period of time? So
we got a video or
yeah, we got a video. We got a video. Some of you may have already seen it. I think it has some very powerful points. So I think it's very I think it is I think it's a very good watch. So I'm gonna pull it up and
yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting one. So I think I've seen the video. Technical difficulties.
That look like a truck cable?
That's hard.
Tell me that
That's
ain't
hard.
butter.
It's hard.
Now y'all go
Yeah.
You
together.
got on some very expensive. You got on some very expensive cologne too, Tracy.
Oh yeah.
Tracy ain't playing.
But my father always taught me when you go out the house, always smell good. Women love to stand
That's
next
a
to a
fact.
woman, a man that smell good.
But you
You gotta
can't
keep
just,
the fragrances on.
no,
You
you're
gotta
right.
keep
But
the
guys
fragrances.
gotta understand you can't spray that cologne on and not shower. The other night, I
Yeah,
was out,
Yeah, a lot of dudes do that.
ooh,
They be in the club, smell like mildew.
like funk and
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
that T-shirt out the hamper.
Mhm.
You know you got that T-shirt out the hamper.
Well, let me tell you, happy early born day too, man. Your born day in a few
Thank
days,
you,
man.
yes sir. Yo, could I ask you a question, child?
Uh-huh.
And you have a lot of wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, bringing forth understanding.
Yes, sir.
What is the opposite of death?
Life.
No, you're wrong.
Tell me.
It's birth.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a
Mhm.
fact.
That's a jewel for you.
Mhm.
Holla at me.
How different do birthdays feel after the accident?
No, it's coming back. Believe that. But come around, don't go around. what come around is coming back around. I've never seen a clock do this and stop and do this. So even those who trespass upon me, I forgive you and I love you. I see Lil Rel at the Emmys. I love you. Stay funny. I don't got no beef with you. I don't even know you.
Oh, so you seen Rel since he made the comments when he called you a
I
hater?
don't care about that.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Like Mason said, there's only a lie if it's in their mind. Dude, no, I didn't take anything from it. I was just saying to the grips, the craft show, people that make, if I want beef, I go with my wife. You know what I'm saying? And me and her get along great.
Yeah.
Please say you felt great.
I felt great. I felt
I'm
great.
40.
I felt great.
Knowledge being born. I have to stay focused. I'm glad you wrote a script and have a, but there are others you can go to.
I think he said he wrote for you before and
Thank the grips. Tina and them loved it. I worked with Tina most of my career. She never said anything like that to me. Will Ferrell, I was on that crew. Saturday Night Live, 30 Rock, Martin. Martin is my OG. I love this thing, man. I love the people around it. Stars and non-stars. I love you. This is a community. We are all in this room a part of a community. I don't got no beef with nobody in 30 years of this career. No beef.
Rob was a little upset when he came up here too.
Rob Stapleton.
About what?
He said that one person he thought would never shit on him, and it was Tracy Morgan.
We have the actual.
I don't mind that.
And he told us.
Sorry, feels that way. I didn't know.
We have the
He told a story.
I hit Tracy. You know, Tracy's a full-blown superstar now. Where he changed his number. I don't even have his direct number. So I hit my man and said, "Yo, tell Trey I need to speak to him about the film." I didn't even need money from Tracy. The film's already done. I said, Trey, I want you to executive produce my film as I walk it into distribution.
I've been in this
Trey
game
got
30
back
years.
to me through my man and said, "Nah,
I've been in this game 30 years. I told my brother, don't knock on my door because I don't knock on yours. If I gave you what was on my plate, then I'm not being fair to my family because when we ain't got who we gonna go through. I look at it like everybody beefing like that. Would you have did that for me if you just full-blown star? I doubt it. People say one thing and do another. Would you have did it for me? I have to stay focused. I'm glad you wrote a script and have a, but there are others you can go to.
I think he said he wrote for you before and helped you.
No, he
out
never
before.
wrote for me. Come on, Tracy Morgan. Who funny than me? How you gonna write this humor? How you gonna write for me? Who wrote for me? Even on SNL, I wrote for myself. If you don't write for yourself, you don't eat. There's only one you.
You had people to help you write though, right?
No, I mean you had writers there, and then we would join in. We would collaborate. Listen, the gift is not just competition. The gift is collaboration. Me and you get together. You Charlamagne, I'm Tracy. What if we decide to rewrite Mahogany? That's me and you going in the fucking hotel room. Excuse my French. And every night and arguing. No, I know you love that scene, but it don't fit here. That's that.
Got you.
That's awesome. And then when we at the Oscars, I look at you like this. And you look at me and cry. And we get up there and we thank the grips. That's OG. You want to know what OG is? If you really want to know what OG is, you ever seen Car Wash?
Of course.
The old one? When he got Abdullah to put the gun down? That's an OG. Come on, Abdullah, put the gun down, man. That's the epitome of an OG. Positivity. Spread love. I don't care about this. I don't care about that negativity. Too much of it in the world. You want to know why I don't care about politics? Why I've never voted in my life? Told you before, I'm down with the king. That's who I represent. Just sitting one person over another. I'm down with the king, man. I'm down with the king. Who say he ain't on the throne no more? You don't believe me? Ask Steve Jobs. Invented Apple. One day, my man walked in the room and said, "You got 6 months to live, homie." And that was that. So run your race. I don't get involved in none of that, man. I stay funny. Imagine if I got involved with the negativity. It would take for my sense of humor.
Well, people helped you on your way up, though, right, Trace?
But yeah. Then if that's a problem, we got to go back to my mother. We got to go back to my mother. Every time that doctor said push, and we go there. I'm starting with my mama. They got uncles that kept me away from the streets, kept me in sports.
But just career-wise,
so many
comedy.
Career-wise, listen, that was me.
Martin.
That was me.
Yeah. But the people helped
Martin Lawrence is the one that is my OG.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't funny, I wouldn't have been on Martin. Martin only messed with the best. I remember one day I had the Tracy Morgan show, and the little boy Bobby, Jay Thompson, was getting off. He's coming off. So they called me out the bird break, and I went out there. And Jeff Zucker, I was having a meeting with Jeff Zucker. And he said, so I hear the little boys upstaging you. And he didn't really know I was just smart. I said, well, if he's not, I don't want him on my show.
Mm.
These little boys should be upstaging me. I only mess with the best. Is that it? I left. Got on the plane.
Okay. So what's the take on this? What's the idea on this?
So are we bound to when someone shares their kindness with us? Are we bound to them? And if so, how long is long enough to say, all right, I think like, is this a tit for tat? Do I have to return the favor? Or can I accept your because less to give background story, Tracy Morgan got so much flack. People call him, said he seemed like a douchebag, and he just recently played one of his childhood friends out.
I saw that. He was homeless, right?
He's getting a lot of flack. My internet went down. He got a lot of flack because they say, that he's ungrateful. He's kind of a douchebag. But my thing is he really? Like, are we, just because somebody is kind to us, I heard of paying it forward, but is my loyalty forever given to you? Did you win my loyalty because of your kindness?
That was a question?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say there's a difference between obligation and duty, right?
Okay.
Of course, you're not obligated to do anything. And I understand the grind. When, let's say you got 5 people in a room and you're working towards a specific goal versus somebody, because I keep hearing them say my OGs, Martin's my OGs, such and such. Somebody that already have a platform and a lane and success that reach back and pull you up. They may not need you, to do much, maybe show up for some stuff, maybe to be a part of some things. But if you grind together, or if this person or people help you get to where you are you obligated? I'm not going to say you're obligated, but should you have a duty or moral compass to pull your brethren up with you? I would say that would be a good thing. I wouldn't say you're obligated, because you may not be where you are if it wasn't for the people that helped you get to where you are. So why not share those moments and those successes with the ones that help you get to that success? So I would lead with that, because I think it's a difference between somebody already established helping you and pulling you up versus some people that's in a room with you on the same level as you, grinding with you every day. And then you're the one that make it, but you don't pull them up with you. I think that's the difference.
Good point. I get that. That's like let's say hip hop. We talk about 50 Cent and dang, Lloyd and them and G Unit and Kevin Hart with the Plastic Cup Boys and
all the crews, all the gangs, all the crews, whatever you want to call them. Yes, I agree. That was grinding from day one, and then they finally made it. And like LeBron, right? LeBron hired all his friends to run his business.
Right.
You know, I get it.
Right, but I get that, but I don't have to do that.
No, you don't got to do nothing. You don't have to do.
Like I feel like when you look at Kevin Hart with the Plastic Cup Boys and his crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
He fed them. He put them in positions to be successful, right?
Yes.
That was enough. He ain't got to do nothing else. Even if he bought them cars, he bought all of them caddies, right? He did the Temptations joint on them, bought them all old school Cadillacs. Thank you. He had to do nothing else. He didn't have to. Now his heart said, "I'm going to do this because I can," but if I choose to no longer give you my loyalty, it doesn't make me any less of a person or a bad person just because of your moment of kindness.
I hear you. I just think that there's a difference. I think the difference is some people that's just friends and along for the ride, right? But versus people that share your passion.
Right.
You know, if you know, like you're a comedian, right? Let's say you was in a circuit with 4 other comedians and you guys are making a circuit around New York, around Philadelphia, around Chicago. And you guys are sharing experiences. And it's a part of your stories. It's a part of your show.
Right.
Right? It's a part of your grind. Your friends. You're telling the stories of when you went to the store or you went to the club or you went here, you know, and they're telling their stories. And boom, you're the one that popped. Right? You're the one that popped. Do you buy them a car or do you give them opportunity? I think that's the difference. Those ones that share your passion, I think you share your, you know, you give them opportunity.
Okay.
Like I believe that. You don't have to. You're not obligated to anything. But I think it tells more about the person who keep their, especially if they're of good cloth and they're honorable. And, you know, they were honorable to you and they were faithful to you. That's why they say Yayo is one of the most faithful friends that they ever seen somebody have in 50 Cent. Because he's going to ride for him every day, all day. Because he was there from day one, on the couch, and they understood the assignment. So if you have these people that you work this circuit with, that you grinded with, that you shared, you know, you was in not just your failures, but you know, you shared your failures, you shared, you know, your shortcomings, you know, your no's, you know, every time you got a no, they was there with you to pick you up, you know, when you was hurt because you ain't get that role or because you got booed. I was the one that poured the drink for you and hung out with you, you know, to make you feel better, like whatever the case may be. And then you You pop, and then you say, I don't owe y'all nothing. You don't owe nobody nothing. But I think it tells this, tells a story about you to pick your friends up, to bring your friends with you, the ones that share that path with you.
Right.
That journey.
I can hear that. I know Tracy. I know. Dang, what's the? Never mind. I'm about to tell a story, but I can't even remember which comedian who said it, so I'll just go back off of it. And I agree with you that it does tell a story about you, or you as a person, but I don't feel like it makes you a bad person. Because
I ain't gonna say bad person, but that's subjective. I mean,
but like let's one of the things that Tracy said, right? Tracy said, I did that.
You did what? He did what?
Tracy said, I did that. He said my humor put me where I'm at. Right? So even if we could hit the clubs together every day. It's not they say it's not one of those situations where a comedy club say, hey, we only got room for one of you guys, and everybody said, oh, we'll all send Derek. Because then that's different. But if we have been, and as a comedian, I have a plethora of comedian friends. I got brothers and I got friends. I got sisters and I have friends, right? And everybody's at different levels of their own success. Now, when somebody pop, Monique Latisse, one of my good friends, right? She went viral a couple of years ago, right? 2 years ago, went viral. I'm not looking for her to say, "Oh, put me on because you're viral, because you're going viral. Let's hit the iron while it's hot. I'm not that guy because you're funny. Your funniness made you pop. My brother right now, he's on tour. He's on tour with Takara, right? I'm not calling him like, yo, bro. Now let put me on the expectations because his humor put him there. His work ethic put him there. We could run the streets together all the time. We could talk every day. Matter of fact, me and my bro Bill, he just hung on the phone with me today, right? But it's not because he hasn't called me with the car in the background like, hey, this is my boy Deacon, and I don't expect him to do it because his talent put him in that seat. I think social media has turned us into this obligation of we have to we're obligated to feed everybody. Like if I know you, I should feed you. And I get it, Deacon understands. The Bible tells us, when I was naked, you clothed me, and when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was cold, you made me warm. I get it, right? But I think social media has put us into a place where we're these horrible people. When we've said, I understand Tracy when he said, I have to keep focused. I have to stay focused. Because if I give you what's off my plate, what is my family going to eat? Now, does he sound a little selfish? Of course, because we know he got millions. This man will not want for anything. The money he got from Walmart alone, this man won't want for anything. He don't have to crack a joke. He ain't got to do nothing. Though just that alone, he doesn't have a want. And I think, that piece, makes you look crazy. But the entitlement of people who think that, oh, because you have come up, that you should be that that your hand, you should be throw me on your back and bringing me up with you. I think the entitlement there is kind of crazy.
I hear you, and like I said, I agree that I don't feel that anyone is obligated. I don't feel that anyone is obligated, and I think it's a difference between somebody who took the journey with you, who invested in you, in your journey, versus somebody that, you know, may have given you a hand in something or just supported you, you know. But even if I invested in your journey, because we're talking about Tracy Morgan, you know, Tracy Morgan is a star, you know. That's a different level of conversation,
right?
You know, we can talk about, you know, Tracy Morgan, or we can talk about, you know, somebody that we know or we cool and they're on their way up, right? There's a difference.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a difference. You know, Tracy Morgan can wear your t-shirt and help you go viral.
Right.
You know, he can just do a sound bite and help you out. He can, you know, he can do a 15-second video and help you out. Is he obligated? Absolutely not. But I'm talking about people that share the grind with you, right? When I used to deal in the music industry, you know, we had a production company called Presidential Entertainment, and it was 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. You know, we ate together. We rode, we was on the road together. You know, we did everything together. And they would always tell me, you go get the deal and you come back. That was probably one of the things that I would say that, you know, one of the mistakes, because I had loyalty in my crew. I was like, nah, we going together. When they were like, no, you go and then you come back and get us. Just imagine if I went and I popped, but I didn't go back to get them.
Right. Well, I agree completely, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. The ones that share the grind with you. That was when you guys ain't have no gas. You know what I mean? When y'all was wearing each other's clothes. You know, where when, you know, you got the bread, he got the you know when you go to bodega, you don't get 2 pounds of nothing.
Right.
You get $2.
Yeah.
Let me get $2 of turkey and $1 worth of cheese. You ain't getting 2 pounds of nothing. You ain't getting a pound of nothing. You getting $2 of this, $3 of that, and y'all gonna break bread together because that was the grind that you were on. I'm talking about those guys. I'm talking about those women. You know what I mean? And even just imagine with somebody like Tracy Morgan, you know, somebody had to reach back to pull him up. So what about, now that's what I'm talking about duty. Somebody pulled back to raise him up, right? No matter if he told the jokes or not. You know, there had to be somebody that put him in position. A lot of times, some guys, they put themselves in position. I get it. But it's not going to take away from you as culture and our culture to reach back and pull somebody up the same way that somebody pulled you up.
Right.
You know, so that's the part I don't really agree with, but I understand that it's not an obligation. Like, just imagine me as a firefighter understanding the landscape in Patterson with civil service and public safety, you know, helping to create classes to teach our children public safety, to go and doing these cookouts in the schools, you know, giving out paraphernalia as far as things for fire, to learn fire, and going to help put smoke detectors up, and all of these different things that we do to stay visible, positively visible. You know what I mean? Because that helps. When you're positive and you're visual, it changes people's lives. You know what I mean? For them, I remember an older man saying to us when AD was still captain of Ladder 1, and we got off the truck, and it was 4 of us, and we're all African American. And he has said he remember a time to where that wasn't even a thing, to see 4 African Americans get off a fire truck like you guys did. He said it was mind blowing. I think we take it for granted, you know, to build our community, to create more firemen and comedians. I think some of us, we like to be gatekeepers sometimes, not talking about Tracy Morgan, but just in general, to keep it to ourselves. There's a reason why you don't get invited to the party. Because you're Derek, and you're the life of the party. So you may take my shine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't understand that, you know, just because your light shines so bright don't mean that it dims mine. Mine just shines different. And a lot of people don't understand that. So I don't think that there's that necessarily has to be an obligation. But for culture, one of the beautifulest things I've seen recently was a halftime show at the Super Bowl. That young man, the Hispanic man that did the halftime show for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
75% of the country was against him. 70% of the country was against him. You know, oh, he ain't American. He's Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? You know, he ain't speaking English or whatever. A lot of the country don't speak English. And I said on a post recently, I said, you know, for diversity, telling me 99.9% of the halftime shows was in English is really going to take away from the halftime show to have one where he can do his thing. And his culture and his community got behind him.
Right.
And it was beautiful. I seen that young man, I think it was, what was it, last year? Where he did concerts in his country. And he did concerts in Puerto Rico to uplift his community, to help build up his community. That's true progression in culture. You know what I mean? So to reach back, to pull somebody up, I don't think that's a big problem. Are you obligated? No, you're not obligated. But I think it'll be an amazing thing for you to use who you are in your platform to pull somebody up to help for the betterment of our people and our culture. I think that's where we miss it.
Yep.
That's where we miss it. I truly believe that.
I agree with you 100%. So now we went to the ceiling first, right? We went from the ceiling. Let's go to the wall. What is this the regular brother and sister? Oh. What is just your regular brother and sister who don't have and who, what do you say, don't got 2 nickels to rub together? So when they don't have 2 nickels rub together, you don't have 2 nickels rub together. where do we find ourselves? Does your loyalty, is my loyalty confined to your kindness? So let's pull this video up and see from this video what is thought.
I'm with you.
Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times.
Damn.
But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown, and I just want to know, like, how long.
Tell me more about this 24 grown. That's not me talking, that's the crowd. So what's your question?
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
This saying. And you don't feel appreciated. Can't win.
This is at the point that we have to acknowledge people's capacities. Because while you were in your season of being taken care of, he was the one doing the nursing back to health, right? And he could probably still be trying to regain his capacity for himself after spending his year taking care of you. And as you've gotten able to be better and, oh, I feel better now, I want to go on dates, he's trying to process what he just went through. So instead of you saying, how do I get to the space of me feeling appreciated? What have you done to show appreciation to your man for just nursing you back to health?
You said that you're 24 and you're grown, right? I think this is exactly where you showing your age at.
Yeah, I remember Derek said I moved. I ain't live here no more, so don't mess up that grass. Woo.
Right. So now we had a whole different side of the spectrum, right? So now this is not a factor of money. Oh, you got it, so you can help me. We meet a young lady who her boyfriend has given of himself. He has done husbandly duties in a relationship status, and now she is back 100%, and she wants to be outside. Is she honestly stuck because of his is she stuck? Is because of his kindness? Is she a bad person because she want to be outside and he's not physically able or mentally or for whatever reason he doesn't want to be outside? Is she a bad person for that?
Well, she didn't say she want to be outside. She said
she grows.
She want to go out. I'm thinking with him more. And she's saying that because he's not able to do what he was doing prior, that she wasn't feeling appreciated. I think bringing this home, he may have depleted his funds by taking off work to take care of her. Is she a bad person? I think that's subjective again. If I answer, I think she's selfish. Would I say she's a bad person? At the end of the day, I'll probably say she probably is. I'm not saying she is, but probably is, but definitely selfish. Because if I take from myself to nurse you back to life, taken away from my livelihood and even my life to things that I want to do. Because he could have easily said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go on with my life with somebody who's function normally. He had to love you or want to be with you to do those things. So for me to sacrifice my life and my time and my energy, my livelihood, to give to you, to nurse you back to life. For once you get on your feet, and I'm not on my feet like I was prior, for you to say, I don't feel appreciated. You should have felt appreciated when I was wiping your ass.
I can agree with that.
Like what are we doing? Like, I nurse you back to life. And because I can't take you where you want to go, the way you want to go there, now you don't feel appreciated when you just went through a whole year of me nursing you. I really didn't like that story. I really didn't care for it, to be honest. I thought it was very selfish. But then again, you know, she's young. Not saying that young people are selfish people, but they're not lived. You know, they haven't gone through wisdom yet.
Right.
And a lot of times, you know, with some of them, it's about them.
Absolutely.
You know, it's about, and a lot of them feel like I don't have to go through your trials and tribulations, even though he did.
Right.
If I can go over there without any trials and tribulations and just live my life, right? Live my life, you know, my best life, instead of going through the trials and tribulations with you, I'll do that. I don't agree with it, but a lot of them do, because they don't want to go through trials and tribulations. They don't want to go through the fire. They don't want to go through the rain. They want sunshine and lollipops. They want sunshine and lollipops. And for that man to do what he did, and for you to come back and say, am I wrong because I'm not feeling I think you're selfish. And when I say you're wrong, absolutely, I think that she was wrong.
And I'm coming from, well, first, the wife says, I think it's all about character. A come up is not guaranteed or last forever. Be humble and give back. You never know when you will need help again.
This is true.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Now, my take on it, because I was definitely where you were, right? I was definitely in that mindset, like, dang, you know, I feel, as my saying, as I always say, I feel bad for my sons because it's only getting worse, and the way the young people are now thinking, they're so self-absorbed that it's only about them and it's not about anybody else, right? But then I begin to actually really think about the whole thing.
Uh-oh.
How long am I obligated to appreciate your kindness?
As far as what? As far as what?
You nursed me back to health. You were there. You nursed me back to health, right? And I tell you, man, I really appreciate you nursing me back to health, right? I really appreciate you being there. Or sure, you called me every day. You checked in on our brother. You made you if I needed medicine, you made sure I had got my meds. I appreciate you, bro. Right? How long am I to give you that speech before you feel? Because when do I move on? How long are we staying on this? Am I keeping you on this mantle of at this moment? Because life continues to happen.
I don't think that's the argument. I think I don't think the argument came from him.
No. I know they come from him. She's saying, how long do I stand here and continue to give a
not be taken out?
Huh?
Not be taken out. She was talking about not being taken out to where now she's starting to feel unappreciated. Now you're in a relationship, right? You're in a relationship. You have a shift in your relationship now to where maybe you have to build up his income to get back to normalcy.
Right.
Right. Not that, and not that, The thing was about appreciation. I don't think it's a thing that he don't appreciate you because he ain't taking you out. He ain't taking you out because maybe he depleted his funds taking care of you. You should appreciate that. Now, I would say help him build up his where he was. I don't know, but I don't think the appreciation lies there. You know, and how long am I supposed to not, you know, I'm supposed to feel that way about? No, he already gave you, because I'm a firm believer in, I teach my kids, life will tell you the story of who everybody is. Not all the time what somebody may say, because they may be angry and say something. Not, you know, things like that. Your actions will tell me who you are, who, if I can depend on you, if you care about me, if you sacrifice for me, your life will tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
Like my closest people, their sacrifices was when they took away from themselves to give to me without the benefit for themselves.
Right.
And I reciprocate that. That's what I hold near and dear. And everybody know when that reciprocation come, when you got Sean coming for, you know, on your side, you got a soldier. We already know. I mean, so if that man took away from himself to give to you, that should show his appreciation. Her question was, when does it come to whereas she start to feel that she's not appreciated? How could you not feel appreciated? He just showed you that he appreciates you. Not that he can take you to the movies or the dinner. He showed you by wiping your ass that he appreciates you. He showed you by taking care of you that he appreciates you. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting appreciation on actions of outside the house. Anybody can take you on a date, sweetheart. So that's what I see. I see somebody like her is going to choose a man now that can do for her from a monetary point of view. Right?
Okay.
That like that Tyler Perry movie. What's that Tyler Perry movie with Taraji P. Henson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Family That Praise.
Yeah. No. That's an Lathan.
Oh.
Acrimony or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Where she was listening to her sisters and they were like, he ain't nothing and such, and he finally popped and got that money. Instead of her saying, you know, let me stick around, you know, not the exact same story, but right. I can see something like that to where it's like a woman like her find somebody that will do for her from a monetary point of view, you know, taking her out, something that's not even on a grand scale, right? Not even on a grander scale, but taking her out, taking her to the movies, taking her to get some steak, taking her here, taking her there, going to the bar, and seeing somebody like him that gave himself organically, purely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go over there with somebody else and have a beautiful life with somebody else. And she have to sit back and get done dirty and have to watch this man that loved her, that sacrificed for her, that gave himself to her, give that to somebody else. Because she thought appreciation was in a date or a steak or a movie versus nursing her back to health. That's where the appreciation is at. That man gave his life for you.
Right.
That's what I see in that. I don't think that it's a thing that how long should she wait to feel appreciated? She should already feel appreciated with what that man has already done.
Right. But so she felt, but that's what I'm saying. That's where my question comes in. Of how long? Because I felt appreciated already, right? I feel appreciated for what you've done thus far. If you don't do anything else, I feel appreciated for what you've done thus far. But how long do I stay there? Because
Stay where? Stay appreciated?
Because life moves on. So
no,
now,
what I'm asking, she's already appreciated. I think she's putting appreciation on worldly things now.
Right. No. But my question is, how long do we stay there? Because
that's a her thing. That's a her thing. I think her appreciation is in the wrong place.
But that's what I'm saying. If she has already been there, she's already, because if you at the beginning of the video, she sings his praises.
Yes. And then she say, because they're not going out anywhere, or they're not, going to dinner or movies or whatever, how long before she start to not feel appreciated?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So she's saying, I appreciate him he appreciated me enough to nurse me back to health, and I appreciate him for that. How long am I held to showing appreciation for that? Like, he does nothing else.
That's not the story.
No,
I don't know the story.
I'm not so much talking about the story, but her question was, so he doesn't have to appreciate me anymore? Like, that's the ceiling for the appreciation.
No, I don't think a man like that would not appreciate somebody more.
Right.
I think he showed the ultimate appreciation.
Right, he did.
So everything else I think will be easy.
But that was at that point of kindness. Right?
But if that man done depleted, he took I saw a little more context than what she was speaking on in another video, because he took a year off of work to take care of her.
Right.
So he depleted his funds. So now that you depleted your funds, let that man build his money back up to be able to take care of his family again. Don't just leave him now that that's the most selfish thing in the world to me. Now I done depleted my funds and stayed home and killed my accounts by taking care of you and making sure you got, your medicines and you get to your doctor's appointments and this, that, and the third, because I love you. But now that you're back to health and I depleted my funds and I can't do for you in a worldly sense by taking you to these places, now you want to leave me instead of working with me to help me build this life back up?
But is she saying I want to leave you? Or is she saying, how long do I wait before I start feeling some type of way?
I don't see how you can feel some type. To me, somebody of that character, I think he's going to work it out.
I feel the same thing, but I think she needs to, and you need to see evidence of that. Because some people can say, well, I did this. I'm me and Shaniqua have little tiffs, right? And I'll be like, well, I cleaned the bathroom. And she's like, okay, I'll give you props for that. So the next week comes along and I'm like, she's like, oh, well, what about this? You don't help around the house, but I cleaned the bathroom. Okay, I acknowledge you cleaned the bathroom. I'm okay. I appreciate you cleaning the bathroom. But there's more to it than just doing this.
And I'm glad you said that, because even in a conversation I just had with somebody, I told them longevity tells another story.
Absolutely.
Longevity tells another story. I mean, somebody can do something for you, and that be it. But when you're talking about somebody that's in it for the long run, and it's about longevity, me in there with you, grinding it out with you every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day. That tells a different story to me. And I wouldn't even be, those words wouldn't even come out of my mouth, to be honest. They wouldn't. It would be, my thing wouldn't even be how long would it take for me to not feel appreciated because he ain't taking me out or she ain't taking me out. I would be doing everything in my power to take that person out, to do for that person, to help that person. I would reciprocate that, to take care of them. Now, the nerve of her to say he took care of me for a year, nursed me back to life. Now I'm not going to feel appreciated because he ain't taking me out. You should be taking him out. You should be doing for him now.
But she hasn't said, but she did not say that she hasn't taken him out. She's saying,
I'm not saying she hasn't either.
Right. So we don't know. That's what I said. We don't know that piece of the information. Her question directly is, how long do I allow for him to stay at a place of this is what you did? And then mind you, it's a big thing. That's a big pull.
Yes.
That's a big pull. Like that's over. That's over. You talking about buying somebody a house or a car. Like that's a big item. That's a big ticket item. I took off from work, nursed you back to health. I was cleaning your butt. You boo-booed on yourself, and I was cleaning it. On top of still being a man, if that means for a year that you were sick, I wasn't getting no buns. I was taking care of you.
That's where you at. That's where you live right now.
No, I'm saying, let's be real. That's a big thing. That's we speak of the character of this man, because he's not here to speak. But the character of this man is, I did all this stuff, which means because you wasn't 100%, that my needs as a man weren't being met either.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like the question.
Right.
I didn't like the question. I didn't even like her getting up to the mic to even. I didn't like it. But
these are questions that gets the energy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna dive in, but I didn't like it.
Right.
But what I see Carla spoke a couple times. What Carla talking about?
So she says, I'd rather have sweet things like stay home for me, make me hot tea if I'm sick, etc. She agrees with the things that you're saying. Longevity definitely tells a true story. The bottom line is, as a woman, she needs to give that man grace. He will definitely need a substantial amount of time to recover.
That's like when somebody cheat on somebody, right? And we can't put a timeline on when somebody else heals.
Absolutely.
Right? We can't do that. We especially when some things is familiar, when we see habits and certain things that just remind us of certain things. But then we tell somebody how long you can't put a timeline on other people.
Right.
It's that person's, that's how they're wired. Hopefully that young man get back on his feet as fast as he can. I don't like the question. I didn't like the energy behind it, because I feel like, I don't know how long before you, I don't know. That's not, I didn't like it.
Especially since it's only been a year.
Yes.
Like you said, last year.
So that means that it ain't even been that long for him to get on his feet.
Right.
Like you it's like, oh, I'm back normal. Come on, let's go out. You can't take me out? What? I don't like it. I think she got nursed back and he ain't where he's supposed to be, or he ain't, where he was. So it's like, all right, you don't get it together, I'm out. But hold up, I'm incomplete because of you financially. Incomplete because of you. And I agree, there should be some grace. There should be not some, it should be a lot of grace.
A lot.
And loyalty, good character, respect, and even empathy. Like you said, like he ain't getting no buns. Oh, we don't know if he did.
Well, she didn't say he cheated, so
I'm talking about with her.
If he cleaning her butt, she is no. If he's manually cleaning her butt,
that sounds so insane.
Right, he is definitely not getting them buns.
Yeah, he may be a dirty dog.
Like, well, since you lay here, let me just that's crazy. But I agree. Carlos says as long as he needs. That's the answer. As long as he needs. And I think that's always the sign of a good woman. A good woman will understand what you've done or what you're doing and see the bigger picture. But we don't have prominent good women who are standing at the forefront and saying these things.
Uh-oh. And I think that statement, even though it's a open statement, as long as he needs, I don't think that people that have, good character and morality and all of those different things, I don't think that they need that long to get back on board. It's just you giving that person grace and enough time too, but I don't think that should even be a thought. I think that you should just be grateful and honorable that man did that, and you give him that just due.
Absolutely,
I believe that. I would, if I'm that guy and I see that video, I would feel some sort of way.
Oh no, we would have broke up. It would have been a wrap.
Oh, it would have been over.
It would have been a wrap.
Yeah, it would have been over. It would have been over.
I've been moving on to the next chick because his stock went all the way up.
Yeah, it did.
His stock went all the way up. Any female that he comes across and he says, you remember you ever saw tonight's conversation and the girl who's talking about the guy who was taking care of her? Yeah, that's me.
You're gonna get that one Keisha that go, oh, well, you ain't got no money. She said you was broke.
Yep.
But I get it. I just didn't like it. I really didn't like that question. I really didn't.
Right.
I really didn't.
She still has growing to do. I expect to hear from a 24-year-old. What scares me more is the fact that she didn't have a support system that was instilling that stuff in her, so that she wouldn't need to answer that question answered.
Yeah, that's
the bigger piece, and that's why I say you have awesome women who got their head on straight, who understand what it takes to build a relationship, to keep a relationship. They understand when they got a good man and how they should treat them. But those women are not prominent enough to stand next to the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions and whoever these other influencers are, who are saying if he ain't got the money, let him go. I'll never forget one of my friends told me. She was like, "You got to be." What she said, "You got to be." Right after my divorce, I think she was like, "You have to." We over that? We have already passed the. We have already passed the stage of being nice and doing things for the man, right? She said, "From now on, you gotta bring something to the table. You gotta be paying a bill or something." And she looked me in my face and said, "You gotta be bringing $500 or better to ride this ride."
Hell yeah!
And I thought that was hilarious, but that's the mindset now.
500 or better to ride this ride. Hell yeah!
But
Hell yeah!
we have to get to a place where, as men, we got to stop using money as a way of access. And women has to understand the value of a man and not just the value of his money.
Look at you.
We get to those two places, and then we can say that our children are safe. But as long as those two things are not being touched, it's only looking grim from here on out.
The deacon is back.
So we have reached our hour, and we have given you an extra 11 minutes because we missed you. But we're going to end up with final sayings. What do you got to say to the people, brother?
I'm gonna keep it simple. You know me. I'm gonna keep it simple, especially with something like this. Please get back to family. Somebody is gonna wipe your ass, and you gotta ask them, when should I start to not feel appreciated? You is insane. But let's just get back to family, please.
Absolutely. And that was the same point I was going to make when next time you go to the bathroom.
Oh God.
Turn around, and look what you did yourself.
Oh
and
God.
If somebody is willing to love me enough to clean this up off of me, then I need to be willing and love them enough to be patient and allow them to clean up the other stuff on their own. And with that, we say thank you for tuning in. Been a good conversation. There's no need for nobody to lose their lawn. We want y'all to be safe, and we will see you guys next week. So
say peace.
2 figures.